headed to the locker room. The Huskers have won and you hang up your shoes. Reach for a Coke, it's waiting for you.
Coke is it?
And when the referee shoots the gun,
Coke is it?
the Huskers will be number one.
Coke is it?
Let's celebrate a job well done. Coke is it? When it's time to relax, have a chance to think back. You remember the play that helped win the game. Be proud of yourself and your teammates.
Coke is it?
And when the referee shoots the gun,
Coke is it?
the Huskers will be number one.
Coke is it?
Let's celebrate a job well done. Coke is it?
Coke is it?
From the great Atlantic Ocean to the wide Pacific shores, from the Sooners to the Tigers to the Jayhawks next door, we'll fight them all with honor, stand tall above the rest. The Huskers of Nebraska are the ones that we love best.
See that line of blocking, watch those backs move out.
Heading for the goal line and a touchdown, there's no doubt.
They're fast as a mighty jet plane, smooth as a brand new car.
Every player with the Huskers is a
Football superstar.
They hit the field the hard way with lots of brains and brass. Fought for every yard they made, knocked Seminoles on their ass. Ask anyone who knows football, and I'm sure that they'll agree. Mighty Corn Huskers are the only team for me.
See that line of blocking, watch those backs move out.
Heading for the goal line and a touchdown, there's no doubt.
They're fast as a mighty jet plane, smooth as a brand new car.
Every player with the Huskers is a
Football superstar.
Here's to Coach Osborne, our man of the year. The brains behind the Huskers, the ones that they all fear. You'd better pay attention and watch that final gun. Nebraska's Corn Huskers will then be number one.
See that line of blocking, watch those backs move out.
Heading for the goal line and a touchdown, there's no doubt.
They're fast as a mighty jet plane, smooth as a brand new car.
Every player with the Huskers is a football
superstar.
Every player with the Huskers is a football superstar.
This song's for all you Cornhusker fans who get up on Saturday morning, dress up in red, and head out to the football game. I'm a big red fan, best in the land. Oh, clap your hands for the big red fan. They call me the big red Husker football fan. On Saturday morning, I don't sleep late. I eat an early breakfast, then I head out for the gate. I gotta get there early to watch the Huskers play. Missouri's in town and we'll blow 'em away. I got my big red t-shirt, I got my big red hat, even big red underwear. Now what you think of that? I'm a big red fan, best in the land. Oh, clap your hands for the big red fan. They call me the big red Husker football fan. That's me you see you sitting in the bleachers every week. And when we score, I jump so high you can see my big red feet. Fellas, can you hear me when I scream real loud? I'm not just another face in the big red crowd. I'm the fan who's shouting out and standing in my chair. Surely you've noticed me, 'cause I've got bright red hair. I'm a big red fan, best in the land. Oh, clap your hands for the big red fan. They call me the big red Husker football fan. When time runs off the clock, the football game is done. We're tearing down the goalposts, the Huskers have won. I head out to the parking lot, jump in my red car, drive to home on Victor Street, it isn't very far. Waiting at the door for me to see just how we did is my red dog, red wife, and red kids. I'm a big red fan, best in the land. Oh, clap your hands for the big red fan. They call me the big red Husker football fan. I'm a big red fan, best in the land. Oh, clap your hands for the big red fan. They call me the big red Husker football fan. I was raised in Nebraska, but one time I journeyed south, and the things those Okies said down there made me wipe out a couple of mouths. They like their Sooner football, and they don't like the Huskers none. But I surprised them all when I sang this song. I made them take off and run. You can boast about your victory, tell me all about your team, but when we meet on the football field, your britches won't be clean. You can brag about the Sooners and sing your old fight song, but don't come across our borderline, 'cause you knuckleheads don't belong. Well, your story's old, it's history. You're living in the past. When we meet on the football field, we'll knock you on your elbow. In '82, when the game is through, you'll wish you hadn't played. 'Cause when the Huskers beat the Sooners, you'll hang your head in shame. You can boast about your victories, tell me all about your team, but when we meet on the football field, your britches won't be clean. You can brag about the Sooners and sing your old fight song, but don't come across our borderline, 'cause you knuckleheads don't belong. Oh no, don't come across our borderline, 'cause you knuckleheads don't belong. Get on back to Oklahoma. Who's got the best offense, you know? Take the ball down to the goal. 6 more points we're gonna score. The stadium shakes, fans all roar. We're the Husker football team. When we're on the field, we're tough and mean. With blood and sweat, heart and soul, we'll fight our way to the Orange Bowl. Who's got the best defense you know on 4th and 1? Who stops them cold? Whose defense will push them back? You better watch out when the Huskers attack. We're the Husker football team. When we're on the field, we're tough and mean. With blood and sweat, heart and soul, we'll fight our way to the Orange Bowl. Who's got the best coach you know? Who calls the plays, runs the show? Who brings Nebraska lots of pride? Coach Osborne's working overtime. We're the Husker football team. When we're on the field, we're tough and mean. With blood and sweat, heart and soul, we'll fight our way to the Orange Bowl. We're the Husker football team. When we're on the field, we're tough and mean. With blood and sweat, heart and soul, we'll fight our way to the Orange Bowl. We're the Husker football team. When we're on the field, we're tough and mean. With blood and sweat, heart and soul, we'll fight our way to the Orange Bowl. We're the Husker football. This song's for all you Big 8 football teams who have to face Nebraska again this year. Bow-legged Cowboys from Oklahoma State, Smelly Buffaloes from Colorado, Yellow Tigers from Missouri. Yeah, fans, that's the show me state, so we show 'em every year. Funny-looking Pussycats from Kansas State, Iowa State Cyclones. What can you say about hot air that runs around in a circle? Kansas Jayhawks, who can't ever score because they're sitting on the ball trying to hatch it. And especially Oklahoma Sooners, who'll be sitting home New Year's Day eating turkey and crow pie while they watch the Huskers play on TV. When you play the Huskers, I know you'll play real hard, but every time you run the ball, you won't get very far. You can't run past our defense. You'll be lucky if you get 2 yards. Well, what do you think about it? Think how it'll feel every time you hit the ground. You know what you will hear. A stadium full of Husker fans will be yelling in your ears. Before the game is over, you'll wonder what went wrong. And when you look up in the bleachers, your fans will all be gone. And all that you'll be hearing is the Husker victory song. Yeah, when you play the Huskers, you'll give it your best shot. But why don't you admit it? Your chances aren't too hot. And when the game is over, Nebraska will be on top. It's another Saturday. The Huskers are about to play. The fans are excited, they're ready to cheer. Let's have a Coke, football season is here. Coke is it. Coke and the big red football team. Coke is it. The very best you've ever seen. Coke is it. Let's celebrate our victories. Coke is it. When you're there in the stands with the Coke in your hand, there's a fever you catch and it's spreading around. Stand up and cheer the winning touchdown. Coke is it. Coke and the big red football team. Coke is it. The very best you've ever seen. Coke is it. Let's celebrate our victories. Coke is it. Coke is it. Husker fever is spreading through the land.
You'd better
get on the bandwagon while you can.
all of them.
Coaches and players await the final gun. The Huskers will fight for number one.
Number one.
This year we'll be having us a good time, celebrating all our victories. Coach Osborne is building us a franchise, and Husker fans are living out their dreams. Husker fever is spreading through the land.
You'd better
get on the bandwagon while you can.
all of them.
Coaches and players await the final gun. The Huskers will fight for number one.
Number one.
Nebraska will win the Big 8 conference and head off to another Orange Bowl. We'll prove we're the best team in the nation. The championship is the Husker goal. Husker fever is never gonna die. Outsiders may ask us the reason why, but seeing is believing, and surely you must know Husker fever is everywhere you go. Husker fever is spreading through the land.
You'd better
get on the bandwagon while you can.
all of them.
Coaches and players await the final gun. The Huskers will fight for number one.
Number one.
Husker fever is spreading through the land.
You'd better
get on the bandwagon while you can. Coaches and players await the final gun. The Huskers will fight for number one. Our Corn Huskers are a real good team. We are tough. We are mean, we know how to move the ball, cross the goal line, crash the wall. There's no defense in the land strong enough to make a stand. Big red runners rush right by. There must be a hole in your defensive line. Oh, there must be a hole in your defensive line. We gain 10 yards nearly every time. Quarterback, you don't have to throw, just run the ball right through that hole. Sometimes the Huskers throw the ball, works pretty good getting over the wall, but we don't need to pass it all. You left a hole in the middle of your wall. Better think what you're gonna say when you get home and try to explain why Nebraska won this time. Must have been a hole in your defensive line. Oh, there must be a hole in your defensive line. We gain 10 yards nearly every time. Quarterback, you don't have to throw, just run the ball right through that hole.
Huskers are a real good team. We are tough, we are mean. We know how to move the ball, cross the goal line, crash the wall. There's no defense in the land strong enough to make a stand. Big red runners rush right by. There must be a hole in your defensive line. Oh, there must be a hole in your defensive line. We gain 10 yards nearly every time. Quarterback, you don't have to throw. Many miles away on a Saturday, heading home, you know, to my hometown, Lincoln. Oh, I've missed you so. As I'm driving home, I hear a football score on the radio. Nebraska 67, Kansas 1. I've been driving hard for so many miles, trying to get in range for the radio to give the score of the Jayhawk game. I'm getting closer now, hear the score so loud, but it sounds the same. Nebraska 67, Kansas 1. I thought to myself, that can't be right. 67-1? How can you score just 1 point? Has it ever been done? Well, I guess the Huskers just gave them one. Must have been for fun. Nebraska 67, Kansas 1. I turned the dial to check again, coming loud and clear. Heard the DJ say in a joking way, don't believe your ears. I've been joking you, are you laughing too? But it might come true. Nebraska 67, Kansas 1. Well, this song is sure to make your blood run pure if you're a Husker fan. But on Saturday, when the game is played, I'll be in the stands. At the final gun, the Jayhawks won't have none, so we'll just give them one. Nebraska 67, Kansas 1. Nebraska 67, Kansas 1. Here I am in the hospital, wondering what to do. When I left the football field, I was black and blue. They carried me on a stretcher, I was out so cold. Next time we play the Huskers, I won't be so bold. When you play Nebraska, please take my advice. Don't make that old Husker mad or he'll make you pay the price. He'll knock you down, he's the best around, I'm sure that you'll agree. 'Cause you'll be in the hospital, in the bed right next to me. I like playing football, it's been good to me. But when we played the Huskers, it was a massacre.
The last thing I remember, I was running with the ball. When I woke up, I was in a daze as it carried me down the hall. When you play Nebraska, please take my advice. Don't make that old Husker mad or he'll make you pay the price. He'll knock you down, he's the best around, I'm sure that you'll agree. 'Cause you'll be in the hospital, in the bed right next to me.
There's lots of teams who think they can put our Huskers down, but our record proves these kind of teams just can't be found. Go ahead and crow if you please, but the last laugh won't be on me. Huskers don't get put down easily.
Who do you think you are fooling? You always wind up losing. Do you want to win? Do you think you can do it?
Come on to Lincoln and prove it. There's lots of good football leagues spread through our land, but next to the Big 8 Conference, they're all second hand. In our league, we're best of all. We'll be number one again this fall. Everybody knows we're the best team in football.
Who do you think you are fooling? You always wind up losing. Do you want to win? Do you think you can do it?
Come on to Lincoln and prove it.